Let's talk Falcons rumors now, namely one, how do I put this delicately, interesting mock draft done by NFL.com. CHARLEY CASSERLY, who is no longer an NFL expert, if I'm being honest here. So let's break down what happened here for the Falcons. Trevor Lawrence goes 1, Zach Wilson goes 2, Jamar Chase goes 3, Trey Lance, part of a trade with the Falcons and Panthers, he goes number 4, Penei Sewell goes number 5. No surprises so far. Pretty chalky mock draft minus that one trade. Devonta Smith goes 6, Micah Parsons 7, and oh my God, Najee Harris off the board at number 8 over Caleb Farley, over Patrick Surtain. Najee Harris at 8 to the Atlanta Falcons. I will be honest, that is gross. Now look, this is not a dig at Najee Harris, by the way. He could easily be the first running back drafted this season. And he took a major step forward from 2019 to 2020. But if you're the Falcons, with frankly a long-term need at quarterback, with defensive needs everywhere, including at cornerback, where 2 guys went after you, taking a running back at number 8 overall, that is bad business. If you want to move back into round 1 for Najee Harris, I don't love that, but okay. It's better than taking him at 8. Yeah, you trade down. Cool. That helps you. I would so much rather take a back in round 2 or even on day 2 and invest in frankly, a better player in the draft at number 8 than a running back. Now, Harris's past 2 years, from 2020 to 2019, very different player. The touchdowns, of course, jump out 30 versus 20, but so does the pass catching. And not only that, and this isn't that reflected perfectly on this graphic, the big plays drastically improved for Najee Harris. He was a different and better runner and better player in 2020 versus 2019. And yes, he'd be a great fit for Arthur Smith. He ran the ball a lot in Tennessee. They want to use play action. Having a good back helps you do that. I get it. And frankly, I am expecting the Falcons to take a back at some point. But I don't want to take my first-round pick on a running back if I'm Atlanta. And frankly, if you're going to do that, why wouldn't you move down again? If you wanted a back in round 1, if you're the Falcons, you can move down to like 16 or 17. And I guarantee you Najee Harris will still be there. To take Harris, who again I like as a player, I do, over Caleb Farley, over Patrick Surtain, when you need a corner badly opposite A.J. Terrell, that makes way more sense. Justin Fields went number 24 overall, and you will never be able to prove to me that Cashley didn't just forget about Justin Fields altogether and threw him in the back end. You could have traded down to 8 and taken Fields. Like, that's perfect. Or Farley or Surtain. I like Najee Harris. I do. Don't get me wrong on that front. If he's there in round 2 for the Falcons, I am all over it. Taking him at number 8, even in a trade-down scenario, nah, that's gross. So grade the mock draft pick for me here. Najee Harris of the Falcons at number 8 overall. A, B, C, D, or F? Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Frankly, I'm going to give that one an F. I think it's pretty gross. Let's go to Teddy Bridgewater now here. Interesting notes coming out of the Boston Globe and also from The Athletic. So Ben Volen of the Globe says the Panthers are likely to move on because they want to do something bold at the quarterback spot. Meanwhile, The Athletic throws in this nugget. The 49ers called about Teddy Bridgewater because they were interested in him as a backup quarterback. That one's interesting, in large part because of the contract structure for Teddy Bridgewater. He's due $18 million by his new team if you were traded. $17 million base salary, $1 million in workout and per game bonuses. Now, I don't think there are really any NFL teams that are going to pay Teddy Bridgewater $18 million to be a backup. I like Teddy Bridgewater. I think he was fine as a starter for Carolina. He wasn't a disaster, but he also just wasn't of the high-end playmaking quarterback that I think Carolina is heavily searching for right now. Now, as part of this article with the Boston Globe, there were 4 teams that they mentioned as potential fits and interest potentially for Teddy Bridgewater. The Niners, who again we mentioned have called them apparently. The New Orleans Saints, yes, if you wanted to bring back Teddy Bridgewater, if Drew Brees retires and you don't trust Winston or Hill, that actually could make some sense there. The Dolphins, which again was also mentioned by the Miami Herald, that could be a fit, not probably as a trade, but if he's cut, I think the Dolphins could have interest there. And the Falcons were also mentioned, which I find pretty interesting. I don't think any of those 4 teams, outside of maybe the Saints, but also probably not because they're tight on cap space, would have any interest in paying Bridgewater $18 million to be a backup. And I guess if you want him to start, okay, I guess that's fine, but none of those teams should start Bridgewater over their current quarterbacks, except again for maybe the Saints. So if he's a backup, be a cut or trade, it's not going to be in Carolina. So where will he play? Where will Teddy Bridgewater play in 2021? Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Leaning right now towards it not being Carolina, but he can play in the NFL. We know that worst case, he's probably the best backup quarterback in the NFL. So make your predictions. Where will Teddy Bridgewater play in 2021? It is almost St. Patrick's Day, so if you're looking for some St. Patrick's Day themed gear available, go over to chatsports.com/St. Patrick's. Do not worry, that link will be in the comments and it will be in the description. The Seahawks, a natural fit there, of course, for the green, but they got them for all 32 NFL teams. They are available at chatsports.com/St. Patrick's. And don't worry, the link will be in the comments and in the description, so all you guys got to do is click and go shop. Perfect in case you're able to do anything this St. Patrick's Day, and of course in the future. That way you can dress up appropriately for the themed day and still rep your favorite NFL team in the process. Let's talk now 17-game season here for the NFL. Peter King reports that a 17-game season is highly likely for 2021. Not a huge surprise. This has been, again, relatively expected here. The league calendar, King reports, by the way, is set to be moved back a week. No extra bye week added. That means the Super Bowl occurs on February 13th next year, hypothetically speaking. On top of that, Peter King also mentions that the AFC is likely to host the extra game in 2021. Now, they'll rotate AFC then NFC, AFC then NFC. It's also fairly weird because the crossover games are not like as patterned as you might think. Like you could think, oh, well, maybe they'll just put the East teams this year, the North teams against the North teams. Not what they would be doing. So we do know, though, what the matchups would be. So let's go matchup by matchup here, right? It is the AFC hosting. So NFC East taking on the AFC East. Washington at Buffalo. Giants at Dolphins. Cowboys at Patriots. Eagles at Jets. This is ordered, of course, by where the teams finish. So the number 1 seed in the NFC East, it's the number 1 seed in the AFC East. Moving on now here. Seahawks at Steelers. Pretty intriguing. Rams at the Baltimore Ravens. Cardinals at Browns. Niners at the Bengals there. So keeping moving on here. The Saints at the Titans. Kind of intriguing depending on what the quarterback situation looks like for New Orleans. Bucks at the Colts. Oh, Brady against the Colts. That's a fun one right there. The Panthers at the Texans. And then the Falcons at the Jags. So potentially could be Trevor Lawrence against Matt Ryan at quarterback. The Packers at the Chiefs. I think the best one of this group. That's an awesome game. That one, I promise you, will be hyped as a potential Super Bowl preview. The Bears at the Raiders. Call it the Khalil Mack revenge game. The Vikings at the Chargers. And then the Lions at the Broncos, which exists. Not the most sexy matchup if we're being honest there.